on the beat.
Yeah, the real shop talk. Just come and take a listen. Some grown men with unbiased and honest opinions, and with no agendas, so you just gotta check it. Talking love and life from a male perspective. We keep it authentic, real, no filter. Leave a comment, be part of the show. We here to give you 5 gentlemen's views about manhood, no doubt. This the show you've been needing, yeah, it's the real shop talk. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh, we got a lot of background noise going on up in here. Let me hit these mute buttons. But here we are with another episode of the Real Shop Talk. I am John Singletary. I'm going to be sharing hosting duties with my brothers Rick, Derek, and Tony tonight. And then Tony Massey said he should be here a little bit later. He might be a little late, but we will be waiting on his entrance. But we've got three amazing young ladies coming to the stage tonight. They're going to bring us some energetic, powerful perspectives, and they're going to balance out our shenanigans, obviously. So, but right now, I want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves, and we are going to start all the way up. Wait, let me see. There we go. Up there, up above me. Let's start there.
Oh, this would be me. Hi, my name is Luna Lotus Love. I am a singer, songwriter, educator, and many things. Maybe I'll stop there. I'm a transplant to Atlanta, but I say I'm from Atlanta because I've been here long enough. I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, though, and then I went to Florida A&M, studied music there. And so any rattlers that are listening, welcome. And I have a whole bunch more, but I'll keep this sweet and short for now. Yeah.
Bam, you in the house.
Hello, everyone. I am Kiki Chanel. I am an author. I am a life coach, and I am a podcaster. I write books that empower and entertain. I also think that in order to live our best life, we must operate as our highest self. So I specialize in mindset as well as personal growth. That's who I am, and that's what I do. Thank y'all for having me tonight.
No, we're excited. We got another young lady in the back, but who is that? There we go. What's that?
Never mind, because I noticed that I was on mute, but you can unmute me at your leisure. So
they gave me the power. Shame on them. They gave me the power. We got another young lady back there. She is busy right now, but we're going to bring her on as soon as she's done doing. She's looking at the camera. We'll bring her on when she's working. But come on, fellas, give them your standard introduction for tonight.
All right, I go first. My name is Derek Jones, and I am a certified life and relationship coach and also the host of the Relationship Gumbo podcast, which airs every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. And I'm excited about this show. I don't know exactly what I'm going to hear or see, but I'm ready to react. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it down to my man, Gunter Man.
Hey, what's up, guys? I am Gunter Man. I'm the host of the Gunter Man Show. I'm also a relationship with self-life coach. Yeah, when you have the ladies on, you gotta look forward to the energy, all the insight, the perspectives. I love it all. T. Watts, what's up, baby? It's you.
Thank you, fam, for passing the ball over to me. I appreciate that. I'm Tony Watts, host of Triumphant TV, owner of Triumphant Media Group. We are just here to have fun. Like Rick said, when the ladies are in the house, it becomes a whole different broadcast of energy. So we have some professionals on. And when Crystal comes up, she's another professional. So I think we got our hands full tonight, gentlemen.
Not only do we got professionals on, but they've got some amazing perspectives. We were talking in the background before we got started. And listen, they're not going to get, I'm not going to say bullied, such a horrible word choice. We'll say they won't be overtaken by the personalities of the Real Shop Talk because they brought plenty of personality. So with that in mind, I've got a video queued up. Let's take a look at this, and then we'll get everybody's thoughts on that when we come back.
Men that have podcasts that are very positive. Y'all don't see those because that's not what goes viral. If you're following Spiritual Word in the Shade Room and Baller Alert, and you're expecting to see a positive post about black men on a podcast, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not going to see that. You also have to look at what you have on your social media feed. So you have to ask yourself as a person, why is it that I'm consistently following this and getting triggered to the point where I'm so upset at all black men? Shouldn't I be doing something about that? Instead of blaming all black men and saying all black men do is get on podcasts and bash black women? No, all the platforms that you follow do is promote podcasts that bash black woman, but you're blaming all black men.
Wait. Kiki had a look. I think there's an opinion in the house. Go on.
I mean, I agree. You control what you take in, and I think it starts with the mind. If you want better, do better, and then when you do that, you become a better person. But you have to control what you're, ingesting. If you're following the shade room, not shout out to the shade room, and all this other kind of mess, that's what you're gonna get back. So, if you want to have some type of positivity, first start with yourself, be that positive light that you want to see, and then follow the pages that reflect it. Because otherwise you're doing yourself a disservice by, contaminating your mind as well as your body, as well as your soul and your spirit with stuff that's just not pleasing and feeding you in a positive way. So that's my take on that.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You got anything for us, Luna?
I have such an interesting relationship with social media. It's such a place of smoke and mirrors. It's really at this point hard for me to believe anything that anyone says. I know that we want to, and I know that at one point in time there was such a big hype about people expressing themselves and that being your connection point to your audience in terms of being vulnerable and being transparent. But I don't really know if it exists. And so that's really just my take on social media. I do think that balance is necessary in terms have fun. Life is really hard right now. Take I think Kanye is funny. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to say. I think that the president that there's anything that you can look at honestly with a little bit of humor. And so balance is necessary, but I also absolutely agree with Kiki that you do have to have an extreme amount of discernment, especially for our young people who are not capable for themselves. There's a place. I know that the algorithm does certain things at certain points in terms of what we see and don't see, but I think that you should filter for yourself if you have the ability, but I just think these platforms in general are not healthy for grown-up teenagers, really honestly nobody, because it's, smoke and mirrors, filters, face dysmorphia, body dysmorphia, all of these things just kind of take us into a fantasy world,
I agree. I definitely agree. Now I saw Gunner Man. I saw you were having. I wanted to let the ladies go first, but you were ready to jump in there. You got something for us, bro?
But the thing with Kiki, she started off right. It's your diet isn't simply what you put in your mouth. It's what you read. It's what you watch. It's what you allow to hit these things, these five senses. And you got to be mindful of all of it. You have to be a guardian of this temple right here. You got to be a guardian because whatever is going to be reflected on you, you're going to take some of it in. Good, bad, or indifference, you're going to take it in. See, all our opinions, things that we like, things we don't like, things we agree on, things we don't agree on, come from a source outside of ourselves. So if we're going to keep tuning into these more negative things, and a particular race or a particular gender is negative, I'm sorry. I don't care how strong-minded you are or how self-aware you are. That stuff is going to leave marks. It's going to leave marks. I mean, think about it. We, as an adults, 30, 40, 50 years old, are still living some of the backlashes of stuff that we went through when we were 8, 9, 10, 6 years old. You think if we can't come to grip with that stuff after 30 years, that watching this social media stuff on the negative side isn't going to leave marks? So yeah, you're right. It all starts and ends with you, but you have to be a protector of yourself, because the way you see life, the way you see love, the way you see other people, the way you see situations, it's all going to come from some type of source or influence, whatever pushes itself to the forefront of your thinking, that's where you're going to be at for that particular moment. But where you're at for that particular moment shouldn't define where you are as a person, as a human being. The catch is what? Being able to give yourself enough of the information that kind of leans towards who you really are or who you're inspiring to be, and let that stuff be the thing that feeds you the most.
I'm gonna jump in real quick, and I'll be short. So the algorithms, right? Our friend, the algorithms, they create. I guess the best analogy I can make up is it creates kind of like a neighborhood that you live in, and you know how some people, they never leave the neighborhood. They think the neighborhood is what the world looks like. So like if your YouTube and your Instagram is curated towards these men that are talking all of this stuff and bashing women and doing all of this stuff, it's going to keep giving, your neighborhood starts to look like that. And you looking around like, dang, all the men are talking about this. No, just the men in your little curated neighborhood. So you got to start searching for some other stuff so that the neighborhood can grow and hopefully start to filter out the stuff that you don't need to look at. So we got to really, to Gunter Man's point, and to Kiki and everybody else that talk, we really have to be shepherds over what we take in, because it starts to consume you. Like, you know how we can get on TikTok and that thumb just keep going and you like, yo, like, how much time did I waste? What am I looking at? If I see that dude hopping and sliding across the floor one more time, it's gonna be like, how many people have not seen that dude? So it's like you gotta, and then next thing you know, you got like 300 people dancing on your thing, and now you start to, and it's the same thing with these, you know, with they claim, because I'm a podcaster, so I'm a little offended. Like, we like every man with a podcast, and I'm like, no, we're not. Like, this show, like, no, you got to start looking for different stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic.
Well, I'm gonna say hi to my little sister. What's up, Fooney? I got one of her shirts on, as a matter of fact. But yeah, that whole, everybody said what they had to say. It was on point. Like, we create our own algorithms, and if you don't know, whoever's paying attention, all you got to do is go to something that you don't want to see, press it, and go, I don't like that, or stop watching it. Like, if it comes across your screen, just move through it quickly, and then it will disappear from your screen. You can go into your searches and really change what you're looking at. If you go look at your searches, right? Go look at your search right now. And if everything in your search is nonsense, that means that's all you look at. So now you got to change what's coming through there. So like the team said, you feed yourself. So, and Kiki started off perfectly. So I'll land there. Hey, Tone, what's up, babe?
What's up, y'all? Sorry, I'm late.
You're all right, man. We talked about it. Man. You want to jump in about curating your social media feed?
I mean, I think everything that's been said is more than adequate. You know, it's frustrating as a content creator, because you hear the chatter about, you know, the complaints about the content, and then you try to create an alternative, and then for whatever reason, it feels like nobody's listening, because, you know, the salaciousness is what people are interested in. People love train wrecks. But then to hear people complain about it, that's the part that's frustrating, especially if you're trying to offer an alternative, right? So you have to decide, are you going to continue to offer the alternative for those who want to hear it, or are you going to, you know, feed the masses and get on that negativity train, because it's moving.
Sorry, y'all. I'm making the mistake of looking down at my phone while I'm trying to do hosting duties. No, I agree with what everybody said. Crystal, I know you could hear us back there while you were doing makeup. You got anything you want to add?
Well, yeah, I was doing makeup. I'm done now. So when I got to the video, I turned around and saw what the guy was saying, and it told me to put the sound on for the mic. So I'm gonna ask you, just to reiterate. We're talking about social media and the influence that it has on society today. Is that what we're talking about?
Basically, yeah. And how you how depending on who you follow and how you curate your feed, what kind of experience you get from social media, depending on who you follow and what you're subscribed to?
Well, I follow a lot of makeup artists because I'm a makeup artist. I follow a lot of fashion bloggers. But I'm noticing that, you know, there must be an algorithm to whatever you tap on, because if you tap on something, all of a sudden you keep getting these, you know, different posts in your feeds, you know, like say, for instance, if you tap on food, all of a sudden, all of the food, you know, content comes in. If you tap on, I don't care. Like if my son, I know if my son has my phone, because all of a sudden I get twerking, you know, and I'm like, okay, you know, so it's little stuff like that. It's a setup for that. I use social media. Basically, it has helped me because it brings me business. Reels bring me business. Hashtagging brings me business. And that's really all I use it for. I very seldom put anything personal on there. I do think, though, that it does have a negative impact on the new generation now, because there's so much negative content out there. And it's a big influence on, you know, like what's going on in the world today. So I believe that you have to kind of monitor what you're looking at. You also have to monitor as an adult, because as adults, sometimes we tend to compare ourselves to what we see. And you have people who have, you know, committed suicide, or they're suffering from depression just because they're comparing themselves to, you know, you see all these people balling and fanning money and, you know, the cars and the diamonds and all of this nice stuff. And it's like, I don't have that. So you got to have some control with it, is what I would say.
No, I totally agree. I think, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that was the softball, because we got some hard pitches coming. But I totally agree. And the joke that I make often is that my Instagram feed, you know, I'm able to curate that a little differently. So it's people who are doing things similar to what I'm doing, inspirational, things like that. My Facebook feed is filled with a bunch of people I really know in real life and family and all that stuff. And so sometimes you can't control the negativity that seeps into that experience. And so for me personally, I've made, you know, a decision to kind of start migrating away from Facebook, you know, just go to check in, see how people's babies is doing and anniversaries and birthdays. But other than that, but, you know, with Instagram and TikTok and the other, I'm able to more curate that feed. So now that was the softball. So now, ladies, buckle your seat belts. Let's get started.
Men and women will never understand each other. Men are a straight line. We are simple. Women are a twirl around, up, down, left, right. They are intricate as hell. For instance, if a man says I'm fine, that means I'm fine. If a woman says I'm fine, oh my gosh, I'm sorry for you. With women, there's always something underlying to what they say. So I'm fine never actually means I'm fine. You have to do a mathematical equation to figure out what's wrong with them. Let me give you another example. For instance, if a girl wants to approach a guy that already likes her, she doesn't even have to say anything crazy. She can literally walk up to him and say, me like you, and he will say, me like you too. Whenever a guy is approaching a girl, he has to come up with the best pickup line. He has to come up with something that will bedazzle her. Because anything that falls under spectacular, it's not going to work out. So in conclusion, men are too simple and women are too intricate. Thank you for your time.
Tony Watts, man, give me some thoughts on that. I saw you. You were definitely having a reaction.
You know, I've seen it before. I think he's on point. I think he's on point to a point, right? When you first meet a woman, it's kind of hard to kind of figure her out. But once you meet her and once you have that constant communication, you can kind of figure out what the question should be, what the silence is, and those things. But you have to be aware of trying to figure the person you're dating out. But as an overall general, men and women, that the video is hilarious. So from that standpoint, for me, it's just fun. It's just absolute fun.
Now I went to Tony Watts first because he was cracking up. Because the ladies, y'all were just looking like, whatever, I don't care. But what are y'all's opinions on that thesis statement there that my man made?
I think it's some truth to it. I mean, I know just from relationships, experience in a relationship, if I say I'm fine, I'm not really fine. I think what a lot of times we want the man to dig deeper to make sure that we're okay and make sure that we're really fine. It's like it's something that we want when we say that, and when we don't get it, that's our reaction. I mean, I've been guilty of that. So I think the approach when it comes down to men meeting women, he said something about a woman can come up to a man and it's okay. And then when a man comes to a woman, he's got to, have some game and, spit the right lines. Yeah, because it really is about the approach. I mean, if you're going to come with some nonsense, you're not going to get what you're trying to get. I mean, if you come with something that doesn't sound corny, if you're nice, if you're a gentleman, you might get a reaction out of her. But if you come, disrespectful or, like I said, corny or, just goofy, I'll be like, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm okay.
I mean, I like goofy, so you ain't got to be all serious or whatever. I like to laugh, so life is hard enough. We all have to make sure that we find humor in every situation. I met my husband when we were 16 and, I can talk about it from a married perspective, but for the most part, yeah, he was right for the video. But I'm the type of person where I learned a long time ago, because I didn't always love myself. So I allowed people to love on me the wrong way, wrong people, whatever. So as I grew and started to love myself and learn things, I started to realize that I cannot control the things that I just can't. The things that I have control over, I do that. So when I say that I'm fine, I'm fine. Now, if I give you a certain look, then that's a different story. But it's whatever I come out of my mouth is what I mean. Like, seriously, my mama is very blunt. She instilled in us to say what we feel and say it without being disrespectful, but just have that open dialogue. So my siblings and I, we talk about everything. Some people are intimidated because we talk about everything and we don't have a filter with each other. So I'm the type of person where whatever I say, that's what I mean. You may not like how I say it, but these I don't know. I'm not gonna be rude as hell. I'm not gonna be rude, but I'm just me. I don't know.
That's all we can ask for. Oh wait, Luna. There
Yeah,
you go, Luna.
I'm sorry, my internet connection is doing something really weird right now. So if I'm in and out, I do apologize. And I don't know if I got in totality what the next prompt was, but if it's about male versus female, come on, turn on, where
No,
are we at?
it was about men being simple and women being intricate, to put it. So it's like one of the examples was if a woman tells a man she likes him, he's gonna be like, hey, I like you too. But on the adverse, if the man come up to you, he got to have the right pickup line, and the sun got to hit him right, and the planets have to align, and the stars.
You can call it simple versus not. Men realize it's integrated into the fabric of every part of society, where women feel overwhelmed with either being blamed for being hypersexual or being come at in a way where we naturally have some sort of defensive, we don't feel safe even walking to our cars. So when you approach us, there has to be such a delicate balance of, is this person trying to harm me? Is this person actually being genuine? I don't think that factor is being added into it's not just whether a come on is simple or not. It's, am I safe? You know what I'm saying? And I know every woman that's in this space, everyone that you have this situation where you and walking, pumping gas, and you don't feel safe. Just because it's like, well, if I don't give him my number, or if I don't respond in the right way, am I going to be threatened? Am I going to be like whatever. So I think it's more than just is it men versus women in terms of emotion. You know, I think it has to do with emotional maturity, egos, so many different things. But it's not just is this nigga being a simp. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I feeling safe? And do men amongst men talk about like what is appropriate? Like, it's so many men spaces, forums, whatever that have so much shit to say about what women are supposed to be doing. Do y'all have male empowerment spaces about what's healthy and not spaces for bros? That's what I've always wanted to know since we in this space.
Well, that's why you're here.
You gotta get Tony Massey. She said something about pumping gas. Pumping gas is Tony Massey thing right there. Talk about it.
Segue.
No, I don't. I prefer my wife does not pump her own gas, and it's because of that reason. I feel like she's in a very vulnerable position. If the gas pump is in the tank, she can't just walk away. You know, she has to finish the transaction, which just prolongs her time in that space. And if she is unsafe or she is in an unsafe position, I don't want her to be anywhere where she feels trapped or caught. But I want to back up a little bit. And I want to push back. I don't want to negate the reality of women being feeling unsafe. I do not want to do that. I think that is a very real thing and I respect it. But I also, and I just used the word but, I want to also look at how men approach women and what is the right way of doing it. Because Crystal, you used the word corny. And this is something that I've been accused of being on more than one occasion. And so I won't lie, I'm a little in my feelings. And the reason I say that is because what I've learned is the right woman for me will appreciate the type of approach I use because she will appreciate that that's the type of man that I am. And if I did, you know, one of the things that we do have to teach men is two lessons. One, a woman is not obligated to date you, listen to you, entertain you, or anything else. She can very politely say, no, thank you. And at that point, the conversation, no is a complete sentence. We don't need to continue. And we don't need to press beyond that, right? When we say things like that to young men, then I think that there's a responsibility on women to not play games because there is a conflicting message out there about what does persistence mean, right? And I understand that you want a man to be persistent and you want a man to be consistent, but what you're failing as a community to communicate is that does not apply universally. I want you to be persistent and consistent if I am interested. Then yes, I enjoy your persistence. I enjoy your consistency. But if I'm not interested, then your consistency and your persistence is annoying. And it's an affront to me. And so that leads me back to the idea of what I call the what's wrong, nothing game. And I'm so blessed to finally be in a relationship with someone who is mature that will say, this is what's wrong with me. Because I used to play that game. What's wrong? Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing. Okay, obviously something is wrong, right? Or I'm fine, whatever. And again, the reason that we have this men does this and women does this thing is because so many of us, especially in the Black community, are just horrible at communication because so many of us were raised to be seen and not heard. A lot of us just did not find our voices until we left our homes. And then we were so unfamiliar with the sound of that voice, we didn't know how to use it. And then we get into a relationship with someone and actually have the audacity to say, you don't communicate well. Well, neither do you. Neither one of you are communicating well. And so I said all that to say that, we do have to teach men that your best approach is the most sincerest one, the one that best reflects you. And if all you have is hi, then that's all you need. Because if she's interested, she'll turn that high into a full-on blown conversation. I know that to be true. You can come up with the coldest line that you've ever heard in your life, but if she's not interested, all of a sudden, you're corny or get out of it, whatever. But we have to teach young men that, one, your best is enough, and two, no is a complete sentence. And for all of us, we need to communicate what our needs are, what our desires are, because we can't read each other's mind, right? And I do think that there's validity in for men to understand that there is a feeling of every threat to a woman is a man. Every threat. And if you just think about that for a second, every threat to a woman walking down the street, pumping her own gas, trying to get into her apartment, whatever. It never occurred to me when I'm pumping my gas to be afraid or to tense up when a woman or a man walks up to me, unless they are showing me unequivocally, I'm here to do you harm. But their simple approach, it never occurred to me that somebody's going to do something to me. And so I think men need to understand that. So when we do approach, we have to put into context the moment that, we're in. And for some guys, it's hard because we feel like I saw you and this is my only chance. And I gotta talk to you. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're good. It's okay. Leave her alone.
Yeah. So that goes back to when we did the show Protecting Black Women. And we spoke about the dangers or the things that women go through, as Luna brought up, and how we have to change our approach, because you could say something that's sparkling, but at this point she has an attitude from the 50 other guys she just walked by with all of the harassment, trying to grab her. She's had a hard day. And we have to understand in that particular space, her turning us down or saying no might not reflect on she doesn't like you, but she's had a hard time getting to you. She had to go through a whole bunch of weeded dudes acting crazy, and it's a shame. And when we did the show, we had several women on who told us about these things, about how they can't really trust men in certain environments, because you see these videos of a man beating a woman up. Like, how does a woman go into the store to get wine and a guy asks, can I pay for it? And she goes, no. And then she gets beat up. Like, do we really live in that world? Like, I think it's very scary. And I think it's something that we should teach the younger generation coming up, is that just because you said hi doesn't mean she has a space that she has to reply. And if she doesn't reply, go about your business. Because Tony always said it, a no is a perfect, complete sentence. And that no might be saving her from wasting your time in the long run. I'll end there.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want you to take offense to what I said when I said something about being corny. I get hit on by guys. And when I say corny, I'm not talking about just when you're being you. If you're being you, I know you're being you. And I'll talk to a stranger on the street as long as they got some sense. And we're talking about, something that has some substance to it. But I'm talking about corny when they come up and they just say something stupid about what they may want to do to you, how you look to them. I mean, and I'll just be like, for real, so it's not, a man being himself is not corny to me. I don't want that man that has like all of the swag and all of the girls is all over him because he dripping with this and he walk a certain way and he talk a certain way and he look a certain way. That doesn't appeal to me. So I'm not looking for swag. Mm-hmm. I'm not looking for that. So, just a nice, normal guy that can have a nice conversation and be a gentleman. Because sometimes saying less is a whole lot. A lot of times when y'all don't say too much, you are the man that we are interested in, because a lot of us like the strong, silent type. Now we got something mysterious. Now you have something mysterious about you. And we're wondering like, what's up with him? Because all the other guys are busy and, and all these other girls' faces, but he just cool and he just keeping to himself and was nice and didn't, try to hit on me. And, we're interested in those types. So I don't want you to get upset when I said corny. And as far as we're talking about the fact that, you know, we have to feel protected. Yeah, I mean, I personally know a woman that was killed. She was murdered because the guy went up to her at a party in Detroit. I used to live in Detroit. Went up to her in a party. He was trying to holler at her. She didn't want to holler at him. He kept following her around. She was like, look, I'm with my boyfriend. And when he went outside, he shot her as she was running away from him in the back of her head, just because of that. So yes, then this was like 3-4 years ago. So this is the world that we live in, you know. And when I say something about I'm okay, I'm fine, a lot of times for me, I say it because I'm trying to avoid conflict. We got one lady on here that says she's gonna say what she says what she means, and that's good. I do that too. But a lot of times when I say I'm fine, it's because I'm not about any drama. I don't feel like arguing right now. Because if I say something, maybe I need to take 10 seconds or a minute before I have to think, you know, I have to think before I say something. So when I say I'm fine, I'm avoiding conflict. I'll come back at you and talk to you, but it might not be the best time for me.
Yeah. And when I was about to say, when I say that I'm fine and stuff too, I don't argue at all. I don't like conflict because I don't like the person that I am when I get to that point. I've been that person where I didn't care if I went to jail or whatever. But so I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with anybody. So that's why I say when I mean what I say and I say what I mean. As far as like, you know, feeling unsafe, I'm so glad that I live where I live and I have the husband that I have, because I don't find myself in situations where I feel unsafe. And I thank God for that, because so many women have been murdered, taken advantage of, and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just glad that I'm not in a position to say that I'm one of those people. So it is a sad world that we live on.
I'm about to grab my charger, y'all. I'll be back. I'm about to grab my charger.
Okay. Yeah, it is a sad world that we live in that people would do that.
I don't know if it's, I think, you know, that's amazing for you, Kiki, that I don't think it's just a matter of your zip code and where you live in terms of feeling safe. It's just like the other sister said, Crystal, I live in Atlanta. I'm not sure where everybody else is, but I literally, this was like maybe last year, watching the news, and this girl were on his motorcycle. The girl was in back of him, and some other guy riding in the car is hitting on the girl, and of course she's with the guy holding on. You see the shot, you know what I'm saying? So that's a real fear, and I'm glad also that she went to corny about this idea of corny, this idea or this imagery of like women not liking corny lines. I'm so glad that she said what she said about it. Don't really have anything to do with corny. If you know that women are emotional, we're intuitive, we can feel things. It's not about what you're saying, it's about what I feel. And how you feeling is corny. How you feeling is disingenuous. You know what I'm saying? It's not about necessarily the words that are coming out of your mouth. And like somebody also said, a simple hi. You know what I'm saying? But it is just important to know no is no, and not to have such a fragile, I don't even know what to call it right now, but just men being so extremely fragile and not able to accept rejection is a real freaking problem.
Oops, unmute my mic. Quincy was talking about that. He said, you know, some dudes don't even teach each other how to handle rejection. You know, they bruise their fragile ego, and that's y'all took it. It was funny to me at first, but I'm glad that y'all took it to that level, because I think that's one of the pieces of nuance that is consistently missing from these conversations. Oh, women are this, women are that. And I heard a disgraced comedian, but he said it was a classic line. He said, hey, you know, if a man goes to approach a woman, the worst thing that's going to happen is she's going to reject him and maybe hurt his feelings. He said, what is at stake for a woman is all of the worst things that you could ever imagine. They could be beaten, robbed, kidnapped, killed, raped, all of these other things, and that puts it into context for us that, you know, sometimes that. But back to the original, women are difficult, men are simple. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think y'all that simple. Like,
We're
honestly.
not. Thank you
No,
for that. We
I'm
need
so
to stop
serious.
saying men are simple,
Like,
because
because y'all could say I'm fine and y'all's worried about the crumble, and I'm like, won't you just use your words? Just use your damn words. Like, I can't read your mind and you can't read mine, so let's just talk about it.
not world is about to crumble. Though.
I'm just saying, like, for real. No, oh, come on now, y'all know.
It's true. It's true.
Like, y'all
I'm
acting like
co-signing- I'm
Jesus stole
co-signing
your
you on
book and
that,
writing
Kiki.
on it. Like, for real.
I'm
For real.
co-signing that one. That's true. We
Y'all-
do that.
Y'all ain't that simple. Y'all ain't that simple. Like, and you know, and women ain't that difficult either. Like, intricate, as y'all put it.
Yeah.
Intricate.
We like to
can
give
do
you the
that. We
appearance.
got
We
that
like
on
to give you.
TikTok.
We like to give you the appearance of simple, but underneath the hood, man, we go through a lot, and we'll say I'm fine too, or I'm all right, and we literally be crumbling on the inside. So, and I know that from firsthand experience. It's a real thing. So I think it's really just a lesson in really trying to understand that we both go through stuff and we both have different nuances that we have to take time to learn. It's really that. Like, I'm not going to be able to read your mind because I'm not you, and vice versa. And we gotta go ahead and put those barriers down and say, look, I'm not you, but I want to learn you.
Right. I don't want you to be able to read my mind because you might not like what's in there.
That too. that too. You're right about that. I'm like,
Derek brings up a good point, and this is something that I think is important. I don't need to know women. You know, I don't care about women. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to understand women. I'm only required to at least attempt to understand one woman, and that's my woman, right? And I think we make a huge mistake when we start speaking about each other in this very monolithic way, because, you know, I've dated women in the past and none of them were the same. And it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with socioeconomic status. It has nothing to do with upbringing. Everyone is very unique. And if you apply this parachute style of, dealing with people, with everyone you deal with, then yeah, you are going to be disappointed. And so it was very hard for me to learn to open up to my wife until my wife created the space where I felt okay to be vulnerable. And in that space, now I can say whatever I want because I'm not afraid of the consequences. And I'm also not afraid that my vulnerability is going to be weaponized, you know. But that took some time, and it took courage on my part to do the work. Because you're right, Kiki. I hate that concept that we're simple. We're not. We're just as complex as anyone else. I think that we complicate one another because, again, we're trying to apply this blanket concept for every single one of us that we meet, and it just doesn't work.
Bravo. Now I got to give Derek Jones credit for this next video, but
hold on. I think Luna has something to say.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw her face. Go ahead, Luna.
I have that's what you said. I respect, but when you say things like, well, I don't need to know women, I just need to know my woman, I think that is amazing, right? As it relates to the y'all's relationship. But you don't work with women? You don't interact with any other woman in the world?
I do, but I don't need to understand them to the level that I understand my wife. So when I work with other people, I treat people according to their personality, but I don't think that treating men differently than I treat women is necessary. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to say anything to a woman that I wouldn't say to a man. And I think that's based on our relationship, the depths of our relationship. But I personally don't believe, and I was in the military, I don't believe that it's necessary to adjust your behavior around women as opposed to around men. I just personally don't think that that's a necessary thing. I think it's necessary to adjust your behavior around friends and, you know, acquaintances or people that you don't know. The things that I say with these guys, I wouldn't say to other men, you know, because I don't know them like that. And if you and I were friends, there are certain things, a way I would carry myself that would be very different, but that has nothing to do with you being a woman. Now, your boundaries, I'm going to respect those regardless, but I have to know what they are in order to ensure that I do that. I put my foot in my mouth on more than one occasion because I didn't respect a boundary that I didn't know existed. But I think we make a huge mistake thinking that, okay, a woman is coming into the room, let's all adjust. No, let's be the type of people that we don't need to adjust because someone walks into the room. You understand what I mean? That's just my personal thought process. But do I need to know you in order to interact with you? No, because I'm going to treat you with respect. Now with my wife, so Luna, if I asked you what's wrong and you said nothing, okay, cool. Let's go on to the next thing. With my wife, it's going to depend on how she says it. It's going to depend on her, you know, her facial expression. It's going to depend on if there's a sigh that comes before it, because there's a difference between nothing and nothing. One of those, I'm in trouble. The other, you know, she just hasn't processed it yet. You know what I mean? But I know that. Now, I don't need to know that about you because I don't care if the sigh comes before or after. If you say nothing, all right, cool. You want to get a beer?
I just wanted to make sure because and thank you for taking the time to really to elaborate the nuances of you know, I understand that your relationship with your woman is I'm aware, right? I've been married, I've been in relationships, so I get it, and I would have the same expectation of my companion, mate, or partner. I just wanted to hear you say it because unfortunately there are a lot of men, young men in particular, who feel as if, well, if I'm only with this woman, I only have to respect this woman. I don't give a fuck about no other woman. Or worse, if I like this woman, if I think she's attractive, then I only have to give her a certain level of respect. And so that shit.
No, that's a great point, and I'm so glad you made it.
And I didn't necessarily even think that that's where you were coming from, because there's a thing about you in terms of integrity I can just feel, but I just feel for the sake of the conversation, I just felt like it needed to be said.
No, I'm so glad you did that, because for the people listening, that's a very, very important point. And again, I'm so glad you illustrated, because all women deserve respect, just like I believe that all women deserve protection when they want it. Protection is just like sex. It needs to be consensual. I'm not going to just rush to go save somebody. I'm going to ask them, do you need help? You know what I mean? Are you okay? Because I don't think everyone needs to be saved, because I think that could be very reductory. But I do think it's important that my relationship with you does not dictate my responsibility to you as a man, especially being kind, being respectful, and offering protection. So I'm so glad you made that point. Thank you.
All right, now to the video. And I'm really curious to see what the ladies will have to say about this. I thought it was an interesting take, very interesting.
Oz, or especially The Wiz, is an excellent depiction of the struggle of the African American woman. You traveling with a dude who got no brains. You traveling with a dude who's got no heart, no compassion. You traveling with a dude who's scared, who's got no courage. She's on her way to the wizard. Now the witches are all the other women that can't stand you, and they're trying to get after you. And y'all think the power is in them shoes you wear. And you're looking for the wizard, the one who can give you everything you want. Because at the end of the day, there's no place like home.
Whoa.
Damn. Okay.
Well, first of all, listen, I don't even know what to feel about. I feel like some people have platforms that don't deserve them. And what did we just listen to? why did we just listen to that? I've never heard, and it's so interesting because there was a time that I had a platform that I developed called Yellow Brick Chicks. And the objective of Yellow Brick Chicks, or the motto theme or whatever, was where the mother musician shines. And it was a way for me as a mother and a musician to look at the character symbolism of what these characters symbolize for a woman on her journey to home. Home to me symbolized herself, her trying to find her way back to herself. So these other characters, the lion, the scarecrow, all of these things were ultimately just reflections of herself, because that's why and the Good Witch says, if you just believe. So this, I don't know where you're trying to go with this, John, but that was some malarkey, and you know it.
Man, listen, I took that a totally different way. I took that, okay, she's trying to find her way home. She come across these characters. She has compassion to say, you know what? I'm on a journey to find my way home. Let me see if I can bring them along as well. Let me see if I can bring out the best in them. And as a woman and as a life coach, that is my personal journey, to bring out the best in myself first and help some other people do that. So the fact that he's making it seem like, this woman is just lost and taking on the weight of the world, somebody that's like broken may take that and run with it. But I'm healed from my brokenness. So I look at the world and everything in it in a different way. Life is too short, y'all, to be taking on some bullshit that somebody else is saying. Have your own mind and form your own opinion, and we all know perception is a motherfucker, right? So make sure that you have something that you have to say and stand by that. But I took that as Dorothy, hey, go, come go with me, because we going somewhere. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have me, and I got y'all too. As long as y'all willing to walk this yellow brick road with me, we gonna make it. And that's how I take it. So that was my perspective on it.
Another reason why I think I had such a visceral reaction, or why I just felt so immediately repulsed, is because yet again, I don't understand where or how this has happened. Actually, I do, because I feel like this, kind of historically, men have taken a level of authority on on their perception being law, or their perception being, and I right now at this juncture of the journey, this paradigm of history, I think that there's a shift that's happening as it relates to women telling our own stories. That's why it's just like, how, my guy, how did you come up with this rationale? And ultimately, how we see outside of ourselves is always a reflection of how we see ourselves. So I'm looking at this guy like, you got some internalized, unspoken things happening here. But that,
Fellas, y'all want to take me off the hot seat, man? It wasn't even my video. I'm taking all this heat. Y'all want to help me?
Yeah, before Derek jumps in, I'm gonna jump in. Forget it. So I think I understand where you're coming from, right? Because of all these platforms of men telling women what to do and how to do it, and reframing a woman's world, that could be triggering. But if we take a minute to step back and look at what he was trying to say, right? He was saying the scarecrow is the dude that you tried to date, and he was too scared to commit. The guy that didn't have no heart, he was the dude that you put all your heart and your love into, but he never could show you love the right way. I forgot who the scarecrow. He's always scared to do something. He couldn't really get it together. So, but what you really wanted was the wizard, right? That one guy who could fulfill all of those fantasies, all those dreams that you wanted. That's what I got from the video. I got that he was saying on your road to find yourself, you were looking for a guy, and on that journey, these are the men that you bumped into, on your way to that guy. All right, so that's what I heard.
Personally, though, if you look at the story, though, the last thing I wanted the Wizard. The Wizard was the guy putting on the biggest.
Yeah, but time out. You don't know that.
He was the one that was putting.
Right, but we don't know that, right? You don't know because she was told that the Wizard had all the answers. Go find the Wizard and you get all the answers. We know who the Wizard was in the end, right? But the framework of the story was, let's go find the Wizard to get the answers we're looking for so we can go home. Right? So that's the part he's stuck in. I get what you're saying. I know you saw. We all saw the whole entire story. We know the Wizard was a fraud. We know that you have to look within to find the courage that you want and stop being afraid and all that other stuff. But the way that I think the way he tried to frame his video and his thought was to say some women go on a journey and they find these different characters looking for Mr. Perfect. I don't know where he came from with the shoes part. I don't know where that came from because, you know, some women wear sneakers, so I didn't get that part.
But I think he dropped the ball because for me, if I was in The Wiz, the character that was most intimidating for me was Eveline, not the Wizard. So I don't know. I guess I just
still have nightmares about her, man.
Like for real. So I don't know. I want to hear what y'all have to say. What everybody else have to say.
I say don't date the flying monkeys. They look really weird. Stay out of that garage with all the little things that eat you up. Man, that was such a culturally great movie, but that movie was scary as hell. I don't know why as little kids we got to watch it. I think it was interesting if we're using it just as an illustration to make a minor point. I think the bigger context is very valid because the Wiz was a fraud. It's Richard Pryor sitting back in the back scared. And I think for me, the only thing that resonated, and this isn't man or woman, was at the end when he said, you know, at the end, you just want to get home. And I think that resonates for me personally. You know, you just want to find that person where coming to them is like coming home. So, but yeah, I definitely think it was a flawed analogy because The Wiz is one of my favorite movies with all of its weirdness, but it was flawed. But I did like what Tony Watts said about, you know, the Scarecrow, the Tin Man, and the Lion can represent some of the flawed characters that women do end up. I think people, but we'll say for his analogy, women do date on their road to getting to the place they call home. So, you know, it had some points, but I think knowing who the Wizard was, I'm glad Luna said that made the whole thing for me just kind of fall in because he could have brought, and there might have been more context. It cut off right there. So I don't know what he said after that point, but.
For the first time in Real Shop Talk history, I'm gonna pass on this one. Y'all can have this one. I'm the analogy dude. I could take this 3 million pieces, so I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let y'all talk.
I just think it was a horrible analogy. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it feels like he didn't watch the movie. You know, the Wizard didn't have a brain, a heart, and he was afraid. He embodied all three. The difference was the three people that she met along the way owned their deficiencies. That's number one. Number two, she was not looking for the Wizard. She was looking to go home. And I think that Luna makes an excellent point. This is, as men, we make the mistake of inserting ourselves as solutions for problems that have nothing to do with us. The only reason she was looking for the Wizard is because he could take her home. So home is what she was looking for. And the message is, if you want to use an analogy for women, is that the solution to your problem has been with you the whole time. You don't need a man to solve your problems. And if anything, stop bringing men along until stop trying to help the world. I get that there's this nurturing quality that women have that we all love, but some men will just drain women dry because they're hoping to attach themselves to her as she finds her solution. She was trying to get home. She meets the Scarecrow. She tells the Scarecrow, hey, the wizard's going to help me get home. Maybe he can help you find a brain. Same thing with the Tin Man. Maybe he can. So she's not solving their problems, but they're attaching themselves to her journey so that they can find something within themselves. But the reality is that she could have did the Yellow Brick Road thing all by herself. She didn't have to do it at all. She had the solution right there within her. And that's the message that if I had a daughter, I would tell her not to go find the wizard. A man is not the solution to your problem. The solution is to look within yourself, because home is wherever you are, right? So I agree with the ladies. I thought that was. I feel like he didn't read the book.
And let's do this real quick. Let's do this real quick. His environment made the story bigger than it was, because the people who were listening, oh my God, yeah. So if you listen to the end of the thing, the people who he was telling the story to really resonated with the story. So he thought he was doing his thing, but like we're doing now, when you break it down to like, because the part that I keep trying to figure out, what is he talking about? Her shoes, like it's not your shoes, but for her, it was her shoes, because that's what got her home. Was a shoe. So, because he said it's not in your shoes. Wait, time out, sir. That's how she got home, through her shoes. So, like Tony said, maybe he really never watched The Wiz. Maybe he never saw the movie. So,
I don't think he did, because even the other witches were not her opposition. The reason that Evelyn hated Dorothy is because she accidentally killed her sister when she landed in Oz. And so, if you were going to use this as an analogy for women, the women that you are treating as the op may not be the op at all. It could be that you inadvertently did something to hurt them, not knowing. So if you have a conversation with them, you may find out you're actually on the same side. Stop fighting each other and start collaborating with one another, and you could actually go further. She could have told her, well, look, let me use the shoes, click your heels 3 times, take the shoes off because they my sister's shoes, and then take your ass home. But we as a man, we have to stop. And this is something that men do. We turn women against one another, especially when we find ourselves in these situations where it's like, you're going to let this woman take, these chicks out here, they see you happy. And now no, they don't see me happy. They see you out in the club hanging out with people you ain't supposed to be. But that's what we do. So to me, this was a classic attempt at trying to explain women to themselves through the lens of misogyny and patriarchy. And that stuff has to stop. And this is why I always say, we do not need to have conversations about what women do. We are not equipped to have the conversation. Leave it alone. We have too many things to fix amongst ourselves to be worried about women and their damn shoes and horrible analyses. I'll land there.
Good job. That was very well stated. You said you did that. I think in summary, that's exactly how I started out to say, why do men feel as if pertaining to all y'all? I'm just saying that historically, and there is a presence that feels heightened right now, maybe because of social media, but it just feels like, who gave you license? Why do you feel as if you have license to tell so many women? That's number one, ... But even more horrific, or what I don't understand, is why so many women can look for it. Like, why the audience? And I think he's just an example of so many other platforms that exist out here, from the pulpit on down. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Interesting. Whoa. Okay.
No, don't be offended. Take that 5, man. No, I'm just playing. So, man, I kind of hate to be that guy, but since I'm running the boards, we're gonna have to kind of start taking this towards the close because my kid is ready to go to bed and I'm gonna have to do fatherhood duties here. But I want to check out another video real quick, just a quick funny one to lighten the mood.
Wakanda. Never tell your secrets to someone who likes to spoil movies. It is only a matter of time before they expose you. Savage. A woman would tell you she dresses up and does makeup to look good for herself. Yet when she is by herself, she looks like this. Do not believe her. Savage. If a person records themselves crying on camera, then posts it on social media, they are not to be trusted. Savage. If her fingernails are longer than her fingers, stay far away from her. You will not find wisdom on her lips. Savage. Anyone who takes pictures with their money on social media is plagued with poverty of mind. Savage. If you are lost but see a Chick-fil-A close by, rest assured there is help ahead. If you are lost but see a Popeyes connected to a gas station, understand your life is in danger. Savage. Wakanda forever.
Popeyes?
Yeah, if you're getting gas at the same place you get your Popeyes, you are in a rough neighborhood.
Right, run.
Wait, is that Luna coming in a second time? Let's see. Hold on. We've got two. You see that? Okay.
She might be frozen.
I think she's frozen.
Mm-hmm.
In the other one,
there you go.
Moving. Oh, there you go.
Okay, what I missed?
We thought you were just mad the whole time. I didn't know you were frozen.
What I missed?
We thought Luna was like, if you show one more damn video.
I actually didn't. I didn't even see the video because I don't know what's going on with my internet tonight, but I missed the video. What I missed though?
You missed the
or
wisdom.
not, y'all. I don't know.
You missed the wisdom of if you're lost in the neighborhood and there's a Chick-fil-A near you, there's help near you. But if you're in a neighborhood where there's a Popeyes connected to a gas station, your life is in danger. You agree with that statement?
Ooh. I mean, see, I didn't see the video. I don't know if I really want to answer it, but I mean, unfortunately, they do put Chick-fil-A's. They pop them in places. I don't know if it's. I don't know. I don't really feel like I can answer because I didn't see it. But I guess I'll say yeah because listen, I'm for us, by us, with us, and so it sounds like my answers could be against us. But I didn't see the video, so I just want to make sure that whatever I say is for us, and we, I don't know.
You're in Atlanta, right?
I am.
Okay, all the Chick-fil-A's in Atlanta are safe places, so you're good.
See, great, amazing, thank you.
I'm just saying.
Kiki, you got anything for us?
Man, I like the one where is the talking about the woman who the makeup and then you see her by herself, she looking a certain way. Man, listen, every woman want to be pretty and put on makeup and do that. It's good, but when you hanging out at home, man, I don't think you need all the makeup. I'm chilling, I'm chilling. I don't need a face full of makeup, so I agree. But I do like to dress up and get pretty and put on my makeup every now and then. But when I'm at home, I'm chilling, man. This is how I look without the lipstick at home. Mm-hmm. Oh, and the one about showing the money. Got a poverty mentality. I agree with that because why are you showing all your money on social media? What's the point? It's telling everybody you ain't got none. Or it's telling everybody you have some so they find out where you at and rob your ass. Come on now. You can't be smart and stupid at the same time. You can't. It's not going to happen. So stop showing your money on your social media. For real. It's time for all that to cut that out for real.
You have anything you said about the nails? That was as long as the nails, as long as the regular fingers.
I don't know. I don't have to. I don't say. I don't know. With the nails. Because I don't wear my nails very long, but I went another way with the nails being too long. Like, you can't wipe your ass real clean with them long nails like that. Like, for real. Like, they don't need to be that long, for real. That's just my opinion. But shout out to the women who like the long nails. Ain't nothing wrong with it. To each his own. It's just not mine.
Gunna Man, you over there quiet. You ain't got nothing. T Massey, what? Don't make me shut this thing down.
I'm not a fan of the long nails. Yeah, I'm not a fan at all. I think it's interesting that how hard it is, and we've seen this before on this show on Ladies Night, how much consternation goes into women criticizing other women. Y'all always find a way to give each other the benefit of doubt. It doesn't matter how ridiculous it is. You always have that pause for one another. But when it comes to men, nah, just tear them up.
Well, what do y'all think about the makeup, though? I'm anxious to hear what y'all have to say about it.
I think the point he was making was y'all say we put on makeup for ourselves. I do this for me, but yet you don't do it for you when you're alone. So you're not doing it for you. You're doing it for whoever is going to be looking at you. I think that's the point he was making. I don't know. You guys agree or no?
That's exactly the point he was making. Exactly the point. You know, I got this new hot tight dress I'm gonna put on, and I'm going out to the club, but I just did this for me. No, you didn't.
I mean, but what if
I'm not
date
touching
night?
that.
You want to look good for your husband or your mate or whatever?
But what if you're single and you're looking for a husband or mate?
Well, I can't speak about this, so go ahead.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm thinking
gone. She's like gone.
Yeah, I think he's talking about when someone is single and they're saying, you know, they do all of these things and go, "Oh, I just do this for me." No, we're looking for a mate, and this is how you feel you should attract a mate. So just say it. Just say, stop saying I'm doing it for me. That's all.
And you're not doing it for your husband because he would rather you guys be on time for the movie than you put on that makeup.
Oh, we're gonna be on time because I don't wear makeup like that. My husband, he don't really care for it anyway. We're gonna always be on time, so we good.
Oh yeah.
Luna, we see Luna down there making faces. What's going on?
Luna said she ain't see the videos. You should have played them again for her. You should have played them videos again for her.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, I say that I'm not always on time because I like to do what I need to do, and if that's whatever I feel like I need to do to get ready and be fly. I'm stopping myself from saying be fly for who I'm with because I don't need somebody to be with me to feel like I want to be fly. You know what I'm saying? But I also come from the type of women that ain't leaving the house looking any kind of way. And for me, there's a standard that comes with that. So no, I did not see the video, and it's okay. You don't have to go back. I know that we're summing up. I see John's face. I can see you ready too. It looks like you ready. I am surprised, and not to be. I don't even want to open this door. I am surprised that we didn't open up this conversation about it. I think that there's more male-female conversations that need to. It's not about the Will and Jada Chris thing, and I really don't want to talk about it because that's about to open up a whole nother floodgate. But maybe next time.
Nah, we didn't want to talk about that because we tired. We tired.
I feel you.
We tired. We tired. Let them people go on and live their lives, man. We got bills to pay over here. We tired, so we didn't bring that up.
I thought we were going to talk about the new judge, Brown Jackson. We ain't get into that because that's real.
Talk about it, Gunner Man. You off mic?
Well, you know, like my mindset is like, how do you not look at that situation and give 3 cheers publicly, socially? Like I can feel the swelling up inside me just for the fact, you know, you look at the picture of who represents us and who gets to decide these things over us. And it's all one character where you get to the very bottom, you get a little speckle, and then boom, one black woman who was highly qualified more than anyone else that's there. And yet she had to take that bereavement of questions and no's. The no's are just mind-blowing. You know, like how do you not want to talk about, like, I swell with pride. I swell with pride when I think about what she had to endure. You know, like why can't it just, why don't, if you just look at her qualifications, why is there even a conversation? Oh, well, I need to know. I need to find out. Okay, Black Lives Matter. Does this go with that? And this is this, like, what does any of that? Look at her qualifications. Why is it still that whole mindset? 2022. Why is it still that same mindset that I got to be 3 times better than anyone else, any other race? And why do you continue to clump us all together? Why do you clump us all together? Why can't we just be individuals? You get to be an individual. Why do I have to be clumped with everyone else? You know, that's the stuff that I like talking about, because I'm proud. I'm proud beyond measure. I'm proud to the point of quivering in my throat. I'm proud. She stand and withstand, and came out champion. You know, that picture of her daughter looking over at her. You ever see that picture with her daughter looking over at her? Oh, come on, man. Come on. Locks and all. Locks and all. Well, I guess I could land there.
Yeah, that was for me. She's extraordinary for who she is and what she's been through to get to where she's at. I just appreciate the way she handled herself, because she didn't detour. She reminded me of Obama when they would ask crazy questions of him, or they would say something slick to him, and he stayed in character. He didn't let them ruffle his feathers, and it is so amazing the power that we have, because she could have turned out. She really could have asked Ted Cruz a lot of other questions about Ted Cruz and put Ted Cruz on his butt. But you know, when they asked her that question about what's a woman, well, depending on whose definition, because the definition in the dictionary has like 5 to 6 different definitions. What definition do you want me to answer? And why are you asking me what a woman is when it doesn't relate to the case that I need to be looking over? Like, depending on what the case is, that will have a definition of what we're looking at, so I can make a decision. So all the things that she went through, I think she did a phenomenal job in doing that. It just goes back to that saying that, you know, we have to be 3 times better. We always have to be 3 times better. And I just appreciate, like Rick said, I just appreciate seeing her in her element. I appreciate her seeing her handle these people in such a way that when their children and their grandchildren look at their responses, when they said, yes, she is qualified. Yes, she is all of this. Yes, she persevered. Yes, she went over this, but I have to say no. How do you answer that question to a child? Grandpa, why did you say no? It was strictly political why you said no? Because you gave this lady all of the qualifications. She did what she needed to do to get to this point, but you turned her down. Why? That's when you find yourself on the wrong side of history. So I appreciate them showing their colors. And I just think that, you know, how we putting this village together, we need to continue to stand up for who we are and do what we need to do. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so proud of Justice Jackson. But I think as Black men, if we want more Justice Jacksons, then we need to show this level of pride for every Black woman that we encounter that accomplishes anything, from graduating to kindergarten, to graduating from high school, to making the honors roll, to starting her own business to whatever. We need to have the same energy, because we talk about you got to be 3 times better, but for whatever reason in our communities, until you have proven yourself in circles outside of our community, that's when you get your flowers. We need to give each other our flowers, especially Black women, for everything. I don't care how mundane it may seem, because for that person, that's one step closer to the Justice Jackson seat. You know what I mean? But we can't wait until you do something, especially as men, as Black men. We can't wait until you do something monumental in order for us to make it important. We have to recognize, and I try to do this as much as I can. I don't need honey infused lotion, but I'm sure somebody on my timeline does, so I just share it. I don't need a CPA, but if somebody on my timeline just graduated and got her CPA license or whatever, then I'm going to share it, especially for Black women. We need to celebrate all of them. And then let's make this normal. Let's make it mundane. Let's make it to the point where it's not even newsworthy that a Black woman or a Black man has made it to this place. And my wife said it best. It's 2022. Nobody should have the first Black fill in the blank. We should have done everything by now, But I don't want to take away from her accomplishment. But I think as Black men, protection also comes along with validation, and it doesn't have to be something big. You got your cosmetology degree. Hey, okay, sis, what's next? Let's go. That's how we celebrate each other and pump each other up, because not everyone's going to make it to the Supreme Court, but that doesn't mean their accomplishment isn't big enough to be celebrated. I'll end there.
And Tony, just to jump in right quick and to piggyback on what you're saying, if we do that, right, and if we teach the younger children to do that, the younger men to do that, we will take away the bitches and hoes out of rap music, because men will not stand for that, because we're celebrating the people that we need to celebrate. And as Luna said earlier about men only respecting the woman that he has, but he's disrespecting all the other women. Once we have them to understand that all women need to be celebrated, the way we celebrate all women on this channel, right? Then we'll start taking all this misogynistic ideas and ideologies out of these music videos, out of the mouths of the babes, because they're being fed that it's okay. It's okay to say that. It's okay to be separate. She's not my blood, so I don't have to treat her that way. Unfortunately, son, she just might be your blood. We don't know if we all related on this panel because of the way this country was set up. So we need to start treating each other, and that's another part of us growing the village. We need to treat each other like we are family, regardless of what's going on. Tony, I really appreciate you saying that, because it's so important. If we teach young men how to do certain things, and I'm gonna land my claim right here real quick. I opened the door today for a guy. He went out to think. He's like, yo, it's a good thing. We got gentlemen left, just me and you. I said, no, I got 2 sons. They're gentlemen too. They are gentlemen too, because this is the way they're being raised. And I know, I didn't want to go into it, but I know a whole lot more gentlemen that are out there. Jordan is incredible. You know what I mean? Si's son is incredible. You know what I mean? So we have sons that are incredible. We love LJ. We love him. He's incredible. We were out with him, walking around, he's incredible. He's infectious. You know what I mean? So we make sure that women are celebrated. And that's important. And Tony, I'm glad you said that, because that's another reason why we did Ladies Night, because we didn't want to just have our voices for 4 weeks in a row and not have a woman's perspective. And that's why we do Ladies Night. Thank you, Elena.
All right, let's wrap it up. LJ, got to go to bed. Let's do it, baby. We got your back, John. Mad love for you, baby. Appreciate you.
Well, ladies, we really thank y'all for coming out tonight. Man, y'all's perspective has been amazing. I've learned a lot, and it's always good to have that. So before we close out, though, we want to give you an opportunity to give us any parting thoughts, or where we can find you on social media, or anything you got going on that is noteworthy that we can put out there into the atmosphere. So let's start with Luna.
I'm just really, this was good. I had no idea what to expect. And so thank you, Tony Watts, for the invitation. I was maybe a bit surprised because on my Instagram platform in particular, I've kind of pulled back from being as vocal about really anything. I kind of just post a cute pic and then I might keep it moving. Every so often I might a caption, but I don't really use that platform anymore in the way that I used to be as vocal. So I was a bit surprised when I was approached to be a part, and I'm thankful. I think that what you guys are doing is helpful. It is productive. It's healthy, and keep it up. And thank you so much for having me to be a part.
Absolutely. I agree with Luna. Thanks for the invitation. It has been amazing. It's always great to share a platform with guys who don't mind giving their perspective and have an open and honest dialogue. So thank you for that. I am on at the Kiki Chanel. I also am the host of Kicking It with Kiki, Life, Love, and all that other shit. I drop new episodes every Thursday. I am getting ready to kick off season 2 on the 21st. Season 1 wrapped up last month, and it has been amazing. So I am on all of the podcast platforms as well as YouTube. So y'all check it out if y'all get a chance. And thanks again. It has been amazing.
Fellas, y'all got anything before we out?
I have my on the 24th. I have my in-person From Self-Love to Self-Care in person on April 24th at 11 a.m. at the Exchange in New Jersey. It's a 3-hour workshop teaching people the perspectives to gain from self-love, the benefit of showing up as your real self, and then the steps you can take regarding the self-care, meaning from the things that you eat, the physical activity, as well as your skincare. So we're going to take them on a wonderful journey on, once again, April 24th at 11 a.m. You can look us up at empoweredwithlisa.com, empoweredwithlisa.com. Look up the workshops and you can log right on there and register to be a part of it. Seats are limited, so come quick. Thank you, guys.
Well, Saturday, me and Mr. Man up top, we get to go one-on-one and have a real conversation together. Me and Mr. Tony Massey. That's going to be fire. So Saturday, Triumphant TV, come check us out.
Anybody else? Nope. All right, well, before we close out, in the words of John Wesley, do all the good you can in all the ways you can, to all the souls you can, in every place you can, in every time that you can, with all the zeal you can, for as long as you ever can. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we out.